Let's get into Sky Full of Elephants. Now, before we start, I didn't physically read this. I listened to it on Audible. I don't care. Audiobooks count as reading. It doesn't matter. Let's get that conversation out of the way. Anyway, Sky Full of Elephants deals with a post apocalyptic world where white people basically walk into the water and kill themselves. So the main character, Charlie, who was a former prisoner turned teacher, gets a call from his daughter, Sydney, who is biracial. Her mom has and her siblings have died, and she's trying to get to her only relatives that she knows. She gets a call from her aunt, who is white. Now, Charlie is basking in this pro black world where blacks are prospering and, we have a system that's flowing. And she is just having this identity crisis where she never really fully belonged to the world that she was in before because she was biracial. And Charlie, obviously coming out of prison, has his own identity crisis where he doesn't necessarily feel like he's deserving of the life that he has now. So they embark on this journey. They go to a colony where they realize that it's basically black people are prospering. They're having a great life. They're celebrating. There's carnival, everything like that. And then Charlie discovers the real reason of how all these white people died and the danger in it. The book itself covers so many things that blacks face in America, and it's so beautifully written. It makes you actually have an identity crisis yourself where you think like, oh my god, what would I do if there were no white people in the world? And then you have Sydney, who also brings forth the topic of how biracial children are seen. And then fast forward, we go to Mobile, where Sydney finds her aunt, and she's part of a colony of a few white people that are still left after the event occurred. And nothing seems to change there. They're going about life the same aspect of how they always did. And it makes you wonder, like, wow, all of you have, so many of you have died and nothing is changing with you. So you're kind of outraged at that incident. And now Charlie, who has again found out what caused the original event and finds out that he can assist in causing another event to occur, which could endanger the few white people that are there, including Sydney, who is half white. And she felt the aspect of what allowed all those white people to die. I don't want to go too much into it without causing a full blown spoiler, but the book itself is beautiful. Again, it does end on a cliffhanger, which I hate in books, and it's the only reason that I don't give it a 10 out of 10. But again, it is beautifully written, and I do highly recommend it, not just for black people, but also white people as well. We can share in the uncomfortable and be okay. I do give it an 8 out of 10, again, just because of the cliffhanger. But again, I do highly recommend it.